afternoon. Just past afternoon. So good afternoon, everyone. This is Marian.
And I'm Jared.
And we are here at Nevsky Prospekt doing a live coverage for the old Nevsky Prospekt. So the new Nevsky Prospekt is the more popular one because there's a lot of tourist spots there. But we're kind of curious to see what old Nevsky Prospekt has to offer. So I hope you stay tuned and join us along this live.
Okay, so yeah, right behind us is prоспект. You can see the obelisk right here. If you go straight through there, so that's the new Nevsky Prospekt. It's what people commonly refer to just as Nevsky Prospekt. But the older section here is actually what we're going to walk. It's in front of us. But the new Nevsky Prospekt is just through there, and we've live streamed that before as we walk down that street. So all the tourist stuff, for the most part, is down that way. And then you got prоспekt metro station right there in the distance as well. And then over here to this side, we've got the Moskovsky Vokzal. So we got this side, Moskovsky Vokzal. So this is the train station that will take you to Moscow. And this is where we begin our little walk. So we will walk from here straight this way, that way, down Old Nevsky Prospekt. So now's a good time to go ahead and start. Okay, so the good part about walking down Old Nevsky is that it's actually quite beautiful as well. So it has a lot of the nice, European style architecture, the beautiful colors and such. But unfortunately, I'm not as familiar with the names of places and the history behind it. Yeah, so you got the beautiful colored buildings around as well. If we were walking on the opposite side of the street, there would be a lot less people overall, but today is a really hot day as well. Temperatures are probably in the low 30s Celsius wise. Fahrenheit wise, it's in the low 80s, I think. Actually, maybe mid 80s now I think about it. So
Yeah, the buildings are beautiful. Very classic European architecture. Again, just every building is a piece of artwork.
Although they kind of, this green building here on the corner with Suvorovsky Prospekt, it's kind of an ugly one. Seems odd they would do that. So off here to the left is the intersection with Suvorovsky Prospekt.
Look at the long bus.
If you take that road straight, it'll lead you right to Smolny Cathedral and the city administration. So Smolny Cathedral is one of the major tourist spots. It's a really beautiful Russian Orthodox church, I believe.
Wow, look at that building. Ang ganda.
So after that little turn in the road, then it's just a straight shot all the way down to essentially the Neva River. Ultimately, we're going to head down to the metro station close to staro-nevsky, which you can already kind of see off in the distance. At least we can. I don't know about on the live stream, but you can see some trees down there, and that's the entrance to the Nevsky Lavra, which we might swing in through there as well. It's a really cool place overall. Yeah, so there's less touristy stuff on Old Nevsky Prospekt, but it's still a beautiful street. It doesn't get as much recognition as the other, so we thought we'd bring a little bit of recognition to Old Nevsky Prospekt.
But the sidewalks here are kind of not that narrow as the other sidewalks.
This is quite nice.
Yeah. It's a wider sidewalk.
So overall, when I checked earlier, it seemed like the walk from Staro-nevsky, which is where we started, to where we're going now is probably about a 20-minute walk overall. Of course, it depends on how fast you walk it. Yeah, this has been the last time we did a live stream. It was really hot.
Yeah.
And it didn't cool off, but it got much better, like back down in the temperature-wise in the 70s, like low 70s. That's kind of neat. If you were to walk down this street, we can show it at the very end. Try to hold the camera up. If you were to walk down this street, there's a really beautiful Russian Orthodox church. You can kind of see part of it. Yeah, right. There's the right about there. And yeah, it's kind of a neat little neat little spot. Yeah, things weather-wise kind of got cooler for a few days, maybe a week, and then the temperature shot back up again. So now it's it's about the same temperature as what it was the last time we did a live stream. So if we were to be the next street over, if we were to cross the street and walk down that sidewalk, it'd be quite punishing, I would think, in the sun.
We have Bulgari shop here. These are the high-end brand shop like Ferragamo, Rolex, and then over our side we have Dior. And across the street is Chanel, Fendi. Yeah, this all the signature high-end brands are located.
Yeah, Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, Louis Vuitton. So I guess this street is for those who loves to shop high-end signature brands.
Yeah, so like this stretch right here looks just like new Nevsky Prospekt, but it still has kind of that same feel, but it is at the same time it's different because there's less people. It's not really a whole lot of restaurants on this stretch, so there's a bit less traffic overall, foot traffic, and I say car traffic as well. I've never heard of pickpockets being on this part of Nevsky Prospekt. That's the thing, whenever you're out and about in the city like this, you have to be aware that there's a possibility of pickpockets, especially in the tourist spots. But I've never heard of anybody being pickpocketed on this stretch of Nevsky Prospekt. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I've never heard of it happening here. Yeah, there aren't really any churches along this part of Nevsky Prospekt either. Unlike with the new Nevsky Prospekt, where you have Kazansky, you got Church of Savior and Spilled Blood off in the distance. You've got the St. Catherine's Catholic Church. You've got the Armenian Church. You got the Peter and Paul Church. So there are various churches along New Nevsky Prospekt, but along Old Nevsky, there doesn't seem to be those kind of churches, or any churches. things have really thinned out
Mm-hmm.
as far as people. Not nearly as many people as when we first started. One thing too that we noticed, since things have been hot, and they've been hot for a long time, we've had definitely one thunderstorm so far this summer, but other than that, it's been about it.
Uh-huh.
So there's not been hardly any rain at all.
Yeah.
And so we've noticed that plants seem to be dying and grass seems to be dying because of the lack of water. So it seems like there's a drought going on.
Yeah. It's like an early onset autumn because the grass and the trees are turning yellow, but
Yeah.
not because it's autumn, it's just because they're so dry.
Yeah, they're already we're already seeing fall scenes, and here we are, mid-July. There's a strong wind, it'll probably blow your head off.
Babe,
Won't be staying there anytime soon. The side of the street that we're on also has some pretty beautiful buildings, but since we're so close, you can't really see it as well.
it's a very peaceful street overall.
So, in the distance, we can now clearly see the statue of Alexander Nevsky. Looks like there's some renovation going on down there. View is kind of nice.
Yeah. So this is like the mini map of this particular street. It's the fashion district of St. Petersburg. Yeah, this is the street.
Yep. We're at the administration of the Central Region building right here. we're kind of in the final stretch now of Old Nevsky. So Nevsky Prospekt, of course, gets its name from Alexander Nevsky, so the Russian hero from way back in the day, warrior. It's like this street here is named after him. Nevsky Prospekt's named after him. And we've got the metro station coming up, it's also named after him. And then we have the Lavra, which is ahead of us, that's named after him. So he's a pretty important guy in Russian history. Unfortunately, I don't know him. I don't know the history that well, so I don't want to comment too much about it. So he's definitely one of the nation's heroes. So up here, just right here on the right-hand side, will be the metro station, Ploshchad Alexandra Nevskого. It's on the orange line. And across the street from us is the station of the same name, but it's on the green line. And then right out there is the Neva River, and the bridge, I think the bridge might also be named after Alexander Nevsky. I could be wrong, but for some reason the name isn't coming to mind. I think though it is the Alexander Nevsky Bridge, but I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've been down here, so. There's the statue of Alexander Nevsky. I've always thought it was one of the coolest statues in the city. And then just behind him is the Alexander Nevsky Lavra. So it has a couple of cemeteries and a lot of Russian, like famous Russian people are buried in those cemeteries, like Tchaikovsky. I think Dostoevsky is also buried there, and so on. There's quite a few famous people. And then just beyond that, even further into it, there are a couple churches as well. So I guess my question now is, do we go ahead and go there and continue it, or do we just end it here? Well, perhaps due to the heat, we'll just go ahead and end it here then. Because if we go back into the Alexander Nevsky Lavra, it'll take us a while. It'll probably be another 45 minutes possibly. So we'll see. But at some point we might have to do a live stream back through there again, because that's pretty cool too. But I think for now, just again, due to the heat, we'll go ahead and say goodbye for now. So, if you joined us, thanks for joining us today on our walk down Old Nevsky Prospekt. We hope you enjoyed it. And again, it's a part of the street that's not as popular as the new Nevsky Prospekt, which is what everyone thinks of when they hear the term Nevsky Prospekt. But still, it's still a pretty cool place. Still very beautiful as well. So,
thank you everyone for watching. Hope you join us again next time in the next video. Right. Have a great day. That's everyone.
see ya.